Have you ever walked into a home and immediately thought, nope, this isn't it, but couldn't quite put your finger on why? That reaction usually has nothing to do with the floor plan and everything to do with how the home feels. Today, I'm breaking down 10 things that can silently turn buyers off and cost you money when you're selling your home. The good news is they're easy to fix. Hi there, I'm Gail Hutcherson, your trusted Metro Atlanta realtor for every move. So let's get into it. First off, personal photos. We love our families, and displaying for personal photos is part of what makes a house feel like home. But when it's time to sell, those memories need to be temporarily packed away. Why? Because buyers need to envision their family living in the space. When your home is filled with personal photos, especially large portraits, it can make that emotional connection harder for them. And let's be honest, in some cases, especially for Black homeowners and other people of color, this recommendation also carries a deeper layer. It's not just about depersonalizing. It's also about navigating the reality that bias still exists in real estate. Even unconsciously, a buyer might react differently to a home simply based on who they perceive lives there. That's a tough truth, but it's one reason many staging professionals and realtors, myself included, often recommend removing personal identifiers, including family photos, diplomas, cultural arts, and anything that could reveal race, religion, or background. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about presenting your home in the most market neutral way possible so that buyers are focused on the home, not the homeowners. The goal is simple. Make it easier for every potential buyer to see themselves living there. No distractions, no assumptions, no connection. Okay, one thing you can do is swap in neutral art or mirrors to make the space feel bigger and more inviting. Number 2, political or religious items. This isn't about your beliefs, it's about broad appeal. You never know what a buyer believes or how they feel. The safest move, keep the space neutral so anyone walking through feels comfortable and focused on the home. Number 3, clutter. Clutter is the enemy of space, plain and simple. When buyers walk into your home, they're not just looking at your stuff. They're imagining how their own furniture, their daily routines, and their life would fit into that space. And if your countertops, closets, or corners are overflowing, it sends a message that there's not enough room. Now here's the kicker. Even in homes with great square footage, clutter makes rooms feel smaller, darker, and less functional. And that's not just my opinion, it's buyer psychology. Visual noise competes with the bones of the home, making it hard to focus on what actually matters: layout, light flow, and livability. A few clutter hotspots to pay attention to: kitchen counters, remove small appliances, spice racks, and dish drainer. Entryways and hallways, no piles of shoes or bags. Bathroom and vanities, limit what's on display to 1 or 2 items. Closets, less is more. Overstuffed closets scream not enough storage. I once had a buyer walk into a beautiful home, but the dining room had become a makeshift office with papers, cords, and stacked boxes everywhere. They didn't even remember the wood floors or bay window. All they could talk about was how cramped and chaotic the space felt. That's why I always say, when it comes to showing your home, you're not just selling square footage. You're selling the feeling of space. And that feeling starts with clearing out what doesn't need to be there. Think of it this way. If buyers feel like you can't imagine your stuff in the space, they'll assume they can't either. And that could cost you offers. So tip, clear off counters, remove excess decor, and organize closets, because yes, they will peek in there. One client removed just a few items from their kitchen and suddenly it felt twice as big. Number 4, too much furniture. Even large rooms can feel cramped when they're over-furnished. Too many chairs, oversized couches, or random accent pieces can overwhelm a space. The goal: make the home feel open, airy, and easy to walk through. Less furniture equals more flow. Pet and pet supplies. I love pets. I love them myself, and I know how much joy they bring. But here's the tough truth when it comes to selling a home. Not every buyer feels the same way. Some buyers have severe allergies. Others might be first-time homeowners who've never had pets and don't understand how to manage things like shedding or odor. And some folks are just sensitive. A whiff of litter box or dog smell, and that's all they remember about your home. One time I showed a beautifully remodeled home, fresh paint, new appliances, great location. But the buyer stepped in, looked around and said, "Oh, there's a dog here, huh?" There was a faint smell, a food bowl, and a little fur on the couch. That buyer couldn't stop talking about it and didn't make an offer. That's why I always say, when you're selling, hide the evidence of pets. And here's what that looks like in action. Number one, remove pet beds, crates, litter boxes, and toys before showings. Vacuum and sweep regularly, especially if you have a heavy shedder. Use enzyme cleaners to eliminate odors. Do not just mask them. And open windows before showings to keep the air fresh. And if possible, take your pet with you during showings, or ask a friend or pet sitter for help. And one more important note, don't rely on scented sprays or plug-ins to cover up pet smells. Buyers can often see that as a red flag, like you're hiding something. The goal is to make your home feel clean, fresh, and neutral, not like a kennel, not like a cat cafe, just a welcoming space for anyone to fall in love with. I know it's hard. Our pets are part of the family, but remember, this is temporary. A little extra effort now can make a big difference in how buyers experience your home and how quickly it sells. Remember, we want the house to smell clean, not like Fido. Number 6, bold colors or wallpaper. Your hot pink accent wall or bold floral wallpaper may be totally you. That's great. But when it comes time to sell, bold design choices can be more of a distraction than a highlight. Here's why. Most buyers can't see past color. They walk in and think, ugh, I'll have to paint this. Or that wallpaper looks like a project. And that feeling sticks with them. Bold colors can also make a room feel smaller, darker, or overly personalized. That makes it harder for buyers to imagine themselves living there. Ideally, repainting in neutral tones like warm whites, light grays, or soft beige can do wonders. These shades feel modern, clean, and move-in ready, and they allow buyers to focus on the space, not the walls. But let's be honest. Sometimes repainting or removing wallpaper just isn't feasible. Maybe there's not enough time before listing. Maybe your budget is tight. Or maybe you're dealing with multiple rooms that would take more than just a weekend to refresh. In that case, it's okay. But the pricing should reflect it. If the home isn't fully updated or show ready, buyers will mentally subtract the cost and not just of paint. They'll think labor, time, and inconvenience. So if repainting isn't in the cards, just know that those bold choices could shrink your buyer pool and impact your final sale price. What I recommend is this. If you can, do simple cosmetic updates in the most visible spaces, like the living room, kitchen, or entryway. If you can't, be strategic with pricing and staging to highlight the home's best features and offset the color. And always be ready to adjust based on feedback. If buyers are walking in and saying, "I love the house, hate the walls," you'll know it's affecting interest. At the end of the day, every home doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want to position it honestly and competitively. Number 7, strong scents. Whether it's last night's dinner, a doggy smell, or too much air freshener, scents matter. Overly scented homes can make buyers think you're hiding something. I once had a client walk into a home and immediately start coughing because the scent in the diffuser was too strong. Needless to say, we left and didn't bother to finish the tour. So here's a pro tip. Boil lemon slices and lemon and cinnamon before a showing, or use a mild diffuser, but keep it fresh and subtle. Number 8, dirty or worn carpet/rugs. The floors take a beating. If your carpet is stained, fraying, or smells musty, it can leave a bad impression. Buyers start doing mental math about how much it'll cost to replace. If you can, have rugs professionally cleaned or replaced if needed. A small investment here can go a long way. Number 9, outdated window treatments. Heavy drapes, old blinds, or dusty valances can age your home instantly. Natural light is a major selling point, so we want to highlight it. So let's swap heavy curtains for light panels, or even remove them altogether for a clean, bright look. Number 10, unfinished repairs. Leaky faucet, loose doorknob. These issues signal neglect, and buyers assume that there are bigger problems. Before listing, walk through your home like a buyer would. Or even better, ask your agent or stager for a punch list. Fixing the small stuff can build confidence and trust. And here's a bonus tip, emotional attachment. And it's a biggie. Don't stay emotionally attached. Once your home is on the market, it's a product. You're preparing it for someone else to fall in love with. And that means letting go a little. I know it's easier said than done, but mindset matters when selling. So let's do a quick recap of the 10 things to remove before selling. Personal photos, political, religious decor, declutter, excess furniture, pet supplies, bold colors or wallpapers, strong odors, worn rugs or carpet, outdated window treatment, small repairs, and a bonus. Let's let go of the emotional attachment and think like a buyer. These simple changes can help your home sell faster, show better, and bring in more offers. If you're getting ready to list your home in Metro Atlanta, I'd love to walk you through the process, from prepping to pricing to negotiating the best deal. Again, I'm Gail Hutcherson, your trusted Metro Atlanta realtor for every move. Let's make your next move your best move. Hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment if you have questions. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.